Hello comrades and welcome to Jaffameister TV. I'm your political commissar George Johnson and this is Your Fave Communistic, the show where I try to convince my comrades from games media that their favourite video game characters are actually communists. Let's spin the wheel of equal distribution and find out who we'll be talking to today. Fancy that. Looks like we're going to be talking to LauraKBuzz, prolific games journalist, whose favourite video game character is Jade from Beyond Good and Evil, which is rather convenient considering at E3 last week the sequel to that game was announced. I'm sure it's just a coincidence. So, your favourite video game character is Jade from Beyond Good and Evil, is this correct?
Yes, this is correct. I'm a big fan of journalist that takes down the cyberspace government with photographs and looking after small children in an orphanage. That's the thing I can get behind.
What if I were to tell you that I'm pretty sure Jade from Beyond Good and Evil is a communist?
I would say this is a very shocking revelation and not in the slightest why I am on this Skype call right now.
I'm gonna go through my research notes. At each point I read out, you tell me what you think of that point that I've made, and at the end we'll find out whether or not I've convinced you, based on your favourite video game character definitely being a communist, whether you are tempted by the spectre of communism.
Oh, this is definitely a political piece of content that I will definitely not in any way regret doing. Politics.
Definitely not. Definitely not. So, shall we begin?
Sure, why not? Let's find out why my favourite video game character is a communist.
Okay, point number one. Jade is a member of the Iris Network, an underground rebel group seeking to expose the corruption of DomZ. Now, underground rebel groups, Laura, are essential aspects of many communist revolutions. Not sure if you knew that.
I'm aware of this. I wasn't aware that the Iris Network was specifically a communist underground network, but I'm aware that...
Well, it's never explicitly stated, but it goes to support the whole idea.
Because underground network.
Yeah.
Communism.
For instance, some other prolific communist underground networks, the Bolsheviks in Russia before they became the big leading party. That's one, and Castro's revolutionaries in Cuba. That's another one.
That is two examples right there.
Yeah, it is. Now, what do you think about that?
I think that is a piece of supporting evidence, but I'm yet to be convinced. I need some solid things to build this supporting evidence around. Okay, we'll move on to point two then.
The Iris Network utilises a newspaper of their own publishing to spread their cause and their exposure of DomZ's corruption, with Jade as an important photographer for the network. Right?
These are so far important to accurate facts that I'm following along with.
Okay, well, newspapers are often attributed to Trotskyism due to the Russian revolutionary Leon Trotsky's involvement. Other newspapers that eventually became attributed to the Communist Party of the Soviet Union.
Oh, I see where you're going with this. Communists invented newspapers, therefore you use a newspaper for your cause, you're a communist.
Yes, communists definitely invented newspapers.
Yes, I think that's what you said.
Anything else, anything otherwise is just bourgeoisie propaganda. We know this.
Can I just... I hope I'm not treading on your feet in any point, but whenever you use the word propaganda, there is a piece of music in that game that just in the background at some point goes propaganda. And I don't remember in what context that is, but now anytime you say propaganda in this conversation, I'm just going to be hearing propaganda.
If you want, I can say it like that for you.
If you reckon you can do a good propaganda, then sure, go ahead.
I'll do that. That conveniently brings us on to point number three. Jade lives at the Lighthouse shelter with 6 fellow orphans, herself being an orphan. She looks after the orphans and tries her best to protect them. Laura, did you know that between 1941 and 1945, the Soviet Union also placed importance in looking after orphans? At the time, a lot of during this era depicted ideal Soviet families as parents with adopted children, as a means of combating the World War II orphan crisis. encouraging its citizens to take part in their foster care program.
That is some things I did not know. I've learned something today,
Yeah.
and not just like fake learn something because this is a show we're doing where I have to be learning things, but an actual thing I learned.
Yeah, well, there you go. I'm going to send you a link to an image that will be in the video. If you just have a look at that.
Okay, I see. This is a very small, happy child. The child has a boat, and he's holding one of his shoes.
Right. Do you want me to tell you what the Russian on that poster says?
Let me know. I hope it says something like, "I enjoy having a boat on my lap and holding one of my shoes rather than wearing it." I suspect that's what it says.
It doesn't actually say that, but what it does say is the whole country cares about you. Soviet people will not leave the orphans of soldiers by his care.
Well,
that is an example of the propaganda.
That is a thing I genuinely did not know. I have learned something.
I'm glad
Look
to
at that happy orphan
you.
child.
Let's move on to point number 4. Jade's wardrobe consists almost entirely of green, reflective of the gem where she gets her name.
I'm curious where you're going with this, because you say communism and I see red in my head.
Oh no, you see where I'm going. Green is a colour often attributed to the uniforms and clothing of communist revolutionaries throughout the globe, due to its common usage in budget military uniform, and in places like Cuba provides cheap but decent camouflage properties.
I see what you're doing there. That is a thing I had not considered. You're putting ideas in my head. You're changing my brain.
Yeah, I bet I am.
I'm waiting to see how it fits into the broader picture. I'm still waiting for the linchpin that's gonna, tie this all together and make me go, you know what? Every one of these points was, oh yeah.
Just you wait. So, point number 5. Jade is 5 foot 4 inches.
Yes.
Within a degree, it is generally estimated by historians that leader of the Soviet Union, Joseph Stalin, was also 5 foot 4 inches.
And as we all know, if you're the same height as someone, you are basically
It's true, it's very true. Though this is debated, I should know, as Stalin felt very insecure about his stature and how it might affect his image in the face of the Russian people. So, 5 foot 4 inches, within an inch or two leeway, but 5 foot 4 inches is the average estimate. So I felt that was pretty solid.
That is new information I did not know.
There we go.
You have on this topic got me looking at the famous celebrities that I share a height with, because now I'm going down this theory of if you share a height, you are basically the same person.
See, look, I make you think, don't I? I make you think.
Yeah. You know who the first 6 foot tall celebrity is listed on astrotheme.com?
Who is it?
Jesus Christ.
Well, there we go.
There we go.
There we go. And if by the end of this conversation you decide you've been converted to the communist cause, that must mean that Jesus Christ was also a communist by this logic.
Wait, because Jesus... because by the end of this I'll be a communist and Jesus is the same height as me, and because I'm a communist, Jesus is a communist?
Exactly.
This is an interesting set of jumps we're making.
Oh, just you wait. Just you wait.
Oh, give me your next one. Give me your next one.
This is the penultimate point, number 6. When working for Irish Network, Jade uses the pseudonym Shawnee. According to 7reflections.com, people named Shawnee want to make a difference in the world, and this attitude often attracts them to cultural interests, politics, and social issues. Communist ideology is inherently political, and dependent on the variety, take importance in cultural interest, like the Cultural Revolution component of Marxist-Leninist Maoism, and social issues, like the Marxist strain of feminism.
That's the one that's turned this around. This is... That's impressive. That is impressive.
Thank you.
I'm not going to deny that is an interesting point that I'm not sure how to refute.
Thank you very much. I guess that means we should move on to the final point, Laura.
What are we closing out on?
Are you ready?
Maybe. Am I ready?
This is the one I think will be the final nail in the coffin. Jade's ability to bring people back to life is attributed to the symbolism of her name, being the Jade Stone, which is symbolic of immortality and resurrection. In Zangbu Village in the People's Republic of China exists the Qinan Pingtang National Geographical Park, wherein lie two main tourist attractions. One is a water basin made of jade. Do you know what the other is?
What is the other?
A monument called the Hidden Character Stone, upon which is carved, in a mixture of traditional and simplified Chinese characters, the Communist Party of China.
Oh my god. Oh god. Oh god, Jade and the Communists. They're together.
Yep.
I can't deny it. I was having fun just kind of refuting all your points, and now I'm just like, well, those are observable data points that certainly are correlated, if not causative.
Exactly. I'm very thorough with my research, Laura.
I am impressed with some of the things you've dug out, I cannot deny.
Thank you.
These are not things I would have picked out to connect Jade to communism, but I've got to hand it to you. That is some things I didn't think of any of those, because why would I? But
that's because when it comes to communism, Laura, I'm very intuitive. Let's use that word.
You have just a sense for where the communism will take you.
I do. It's like Spider-Man, but instead of sensing danger, I sense communism.
I feel like the universe gave you a very specific and strange superpower, but sure.
Yeah. Are you convinced that Jade is a communist?
I am convinced that there are undeniable similarities between Jade the character, Jade the Precious Stone, and the Communist Party that, while not inherently proof that Jade is a communist, may suggest that the creators might have been aware of some of these things, and Jade could be intended outside of the core content of the game to be a communist by the creators. I think that it's possible that the creators intended her to be a secret communist.
Now, the real question, Laura.
Yeah?
Does this knowledge pull you in any way towards communism as a concept?
Well, I was already on board with, like, the basic idea of, hey, give everyone what they need. That's not a bad idea, and if Jade's a communist, communism can't be all that bad, can
No,
it?
it really
Really?
can't. That's the whole point of this series, Laura.
Obviously, fictional character might be a communist, therefore, guess I'm communist now.
Well, there we go. There you have it.
You heard it here
kids
first.
At home. Laura Kate Dale is a communist.
This statement is not to be taken as a full, detailed summary of my personal.
Oh no, yeah. There's
beliefs.
an asterisk by that. It's just silent in pronunciation.
And there we
Yeah,
go.
thank you very much for joining me on this wonderful, glorious journey of camaraderie.
Thank you for inviting me on this journey, comrade.
So, Laura, where can people find you on the internet?
You can find me spouting all sorts of communist nonsense over at LauraKBuzz pretty much everywhere. LauraKBuzz on Twitter, YouTube, Patreon, that's the one that pays the bills. Just LauraKBuzz pretty much everywhere.
Well, you heard it here first, comrades. We converted the Queen of Butts herself to our glorious cause. He is hoping that as I carry on my recruitment campaign, we will amass a revolutionary army consisting of the finest people who talk about video games that the world has ever known. But until next time, I've been your political commissar George Johnson, wishing you a revolutionary day. Signing off.